contract?
His voice was deep, almost as if he were asking himself, as well as the strange entity.
You will become the summoner of the strange, mastering the power I grant you, and become the ruler of this world's fate.
The voice of the golden entity was deep and distant, seeming to cross the barriers of time and space, directly entering Meng Zuan's soul.
What is this summoner of the strange?
Meng Zhuan struggled to hold back his inner panic, swallowing a dry lump in his throat before asking, though his mind was filled with countless questions. He could only start with the most basic one.
The summoner of the strange is a ruler who possesses the power of the strange gods. Every summoner can form a contract with these beings and gain their abilities and strength.
The golden entity's gaze grew deeper as it slowly lowered its head, seemingly contemplating how best to answer.
And you, Meng Zhuo, are the chosen one.
Meng Zuan's heartbeat grew louder, as though his blood was boiling, and the air around him grew heavier.
The chosen one?
Meng Zhuan muttered to himself in shock. You said him the chosen one. He struggled to understand. What, him just an ordinary student about to take the college entrance exam?
Because your fate is tightly intertwined with mine. This is no coincidence, nor is it by chance. Everything you have experienced is in preparation for a greater mission.
The voice of the golden entity carried an undeniable pressure, leaving no room for argument.
I don't understand.
Meng Zuan's thoughts were in turmoil. The words chosen one echoed in his mind, but he couldn't fathom how he, an ordinary high school student, could be connected to any strange god. Before he could ask more, a sudden dizziness overtook him, as though an invisible force was devouring his consciousness.
Are you ready to embrace all of this?
The voice of the golden entity echoed again, this time sounding distant, carrying an inexplicable temptation.
I accept.
Meng Zhuan closed his eyes, forcing himself to calm down. His mind flashed through countless images, pressure of the college entrance exam, Yelling smile, and the sudden crack that appeared. All seemed to intertwine at this moment, coalescing into an irresistible force. Fate had chosen him, though he had never truly made a choice himself. As soon as he spoke those words, a powerful light erupted firm within him, blinding like the sun. His body trembled uncontrollably as his senses were consumed by the light. The radiance continued to flow from him, as if it were about to devour him entirely.
In that moment, his consciousness began to blur, and he felt himself entering a whole new space. It was a boundless darkness, yet in the distance, a huge golden star shimmered. The star emitted a warm, mysterious glow that illuminated the entire space. Meng Zhuan felt a profound connection to this star, as if his existence was tightly linked to it. Suddenly, the golden entity appeared before Meng Zhuan, as if materializing from the void. Its eyes gleamed with wisdom, observing Meng Zhuan, seemingly waiting for his awakening.
This is the first step of your contract with me.
The golden entity spoke softly, its voice filled with depth. You have gained preliminary power, but this is just the beginning.
You will face trials and, in the end, become a true summoner of the strange.
Meng Zhuan gasped, struggling to remain standing as he felt a surge of power within him. His eyes flashed with both surprise and confusion, as the recent awakening hadn't brought him relief. Instead, it felt like he had been pushed into an even more dangerous place.
Trials? What should I do?
Meng Zhuan asked cautiously, seeking guidance.
You have been chosen, Meng Zhuo. The upcoming trials will test whether you possess the qualifications to become a true summoner of the strange.
The golden entity's lips curled slightly, seemingly smiling, though its smile carried a cold and oppressive weight.
I understand.
A sense of anxiety rose in Meng Zhuan, but he did not back down. He knew, facing the demands of the golden entity, that he had no other choice.
You need to be careful. Someone has already noticed you.
The golden entity's gaze became cold, its voice lowering in warning.
Who?
Meng Zuan's heart sank, an alarm ringing in his mind. He tried to read more from the golden entity's eyes, but the inexplicable pressure made it impossible to see clearly.
This is a challenge you must face on your own, and time is running out.
At this moment, Meng Zhuan felt the space around him begin to change again. The golden star rapidly dimmed, and the space began to crack, as though some enormous force was tearing it apart. His body felt unwell, and he wanted to scream, but his throat seemed to be blocked, and no sound came out.
Meng Shuo, you must be ready.
The golden entity's voice carried a sense of urgency, urging him to prepare. Suddenly, Meng Zuan's vision went black, and his consciousness was engulfed by darkness. At that very moment, a brilliant beam of light shot from afar, illuminating the entire void.